Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. I wanted to talk to you guys about River's sleep training, his successful sleep training. That's right, you heard me, successful. Thank you, Jesus. I'm sorry, I feel like the past few videos have just been like me talking to you guys. I hope that's okay with you. If not, sorry. There's nothing I can do right now. The kids are sleeping right now. Well, River's sleeping. He'll probably be up soon. Hopefully not in the middle of this. Scarlett is having some not so quiet time. But yeah, so I figured this is the perfect time to hop on here and just talk to you guys really quick. If you guys have been following us, you know that, well, one, our kids are not naturally good sleepers. And two, we've recently successfully sleep trained River with the Taking Cara Babies sleep program plan thing. I will put a link to her Instagram handle below. Guys, it is worth every penny. OMG. So River is now 9 months. We bought the package that's for 5 months to 24 months. And it's expensive. It was $230 and we got a big PDF document with everything. It comes with videos. You get added to an exclusive Facebook group with moms going through the same phase as you, which has been just so helpful. And she has her little helper bees answering all the questions, her workers answering questions that mom has asked. And then within that $230, you also get a 40-minute phone call with a sleep consultant. So it's totally worth it, because some people charge $150 for a 30-minute talk, and that's not with her videos and her PDF document explaining how to do the training. So totally worth it. And yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. I'm not gonna give away all her tips and hints, because you need to go support a working mama, and if you want to get your kid to sleep, then you should buy her stuff. So I'm not gonna give away all her tips and tricks. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about what it was like for us and how it went with Riv. So in general, her plan is a 14-day plan to get your kid to sleep through the night. And through the night for me means that I don't have to go in there at all. Even if he wakes up and cries for a minute or two, I don't go in, and he, falls back asleep, and that's it. So through the night for me means not having to go in there. And essentially it is a modified Ferber method. So there will be some crying, but she's very adamant about the fact that there will be crying because they're babies, but this is as close to a no cry method as you can do without, being with your baby all the time or having them in your room beside you, which is nice because no one wants to sit there and hear your baby cry. And it's sleep training. You are going to hear your baby cry. So, be prepared for that. But she is, her whole motto is, hopefully I get this right, I always mix it up, is flexible routine versus rigid schedule, which is so nice because schedules don't always go according to plan and things interrupt schedules. But if you have just a general routine, I just find that a lot more comforting, and it allows for a little more flexibility. So let me give you a little backstory. This was our second time trying to sleep train Riv. We did a more cry it out method where we didn't really go in to check because we felt like the checks were making it worse. And we did that in November. And he did really well with it. He really did. But then we traveled, and then he got sick, and then he got teeth. It was just a whole thing. And so it totally regressed, and it just was not good. And we were back to holding him every 1.5 to 2 hours. He would wake up screaming his head off. And I'd kind of just let him suckle himself to sleep, using my boob as a pacifier essentially, because I was we were just so tired. We just couldn't handle it. And I knew I wasn't doing the right thing, but I was just over it. And I was if it's gonna get me to sleep for 2 hours, then I'm gonna do it. So we're at a point kind of where we would take turns holding River for 2 hours and sleeping holding him, and then the next 2 hours Grayson would take him. It was horrible. And I know I'm not the only mom that does that out there, the only parenting couple, because I've seen stories of women doing the same things. And I just want to tell you, it doesn't have to be like that. you can change it, and it's amazing. I feel like this whole program has like literally changed our lives. It's like helped our marriage, it's helped our sanity. Now Scarlett's kind of been an issue, but I won't talk about that in this video. We cut her passy, so it's been a little rough. Yeah, so this was our second time trying, and she says, you know, it's a 14-day plan, but you'll notice after like 3 to 5 days, they kind of get the hint. They get the hang of it. And yes, there are going to be ups and downs in there. But they kind of figure it out a lot more quickly than you'd think. Most babies. Again, some are going to take the full 14, some might take more, who knows. But that's kind of our experience. Within the first 3 to 5 days, he was doing really great. And I think one of the biggest things has been him having his own space. So prior to this, he was in a pack and play in our room, and she recommends like giving the baby their own space for this whole thing for 14 days. Whether you move them back in with their sibling or you after that, that's totally fine and up to you. But for these 14 days, they need their own space in their own crib. So I wanted to start like right away. And so I went and found a free crib on like a little app that we have, like a for sale thing. And so I found him a free crib. I picked it up that day, put it together, and he slept in it that night. And he had our room. Scarlett was in her room, and Grayson and I slept on the couch for 2 weeks. And I think that just made such a big difference, because before we did it with him in our room, it was harder on us because we could just hear him so loud, and like, he's not, you know, a dumb little baby. He knew we were there. And so, hopefully I don't have food in my teeth. I was just thinking, I definitely had some green stuff for lunch, so sorry if it's there, I can't see. But can you hear that quiet time? No. I know that was a big thing because we've tried to move back into our room with him in there, and it doesn't work. He wakes up and he can like smell me, and he wakes up. So we're still working on the arrangements post plan. But it's been amazing. So now when did we do this? Beginning of February we did this plan. Now it is beginning of March. Was it only beginning of February? I don't really remember, but he now sleeps 11 hours. That's right, you heard me. 11 hours. He goes to bed and he wakes up, and he rarely wakes up in the middle of the night. If so, we do a little like pop in, and we go and we check on him. We don't touch him. We just kind of console him, come out. So yeah, it's been life-changing. His bedtime, we were aiming for 7 o'clock bedtime, and then he'd get up between 6 and 7 because she says 11 to 12 hours is like perfect. He's kind of adjusted his bedtime to be 6:30. And so he wakes up, you know, between 5:30 and 6. It's a little earlier than I would want, but he's still getting his 11 hours. So I can't complain about that, and I'm not gonna, because it is a 1 bajillion times improvement from from before. Okay, this is my not tired little girl, right, bud? You okay? Oh. So like I was saying, the training itself is a modified Ferber method, which is the check and console. So they'll cry for a certain amount of time, and you go in and you know, calm them down, and there's a specific way that she recommends you calm them down. And one of the things I really, really like about her programs and her plans is that she's so detail oriented and specific that it's like she tells you exactly how long to go in there for, exactly what to do while you're in there for day 1, day 2, and then day 3 and on. Like, it's just very specific, and I found that so helpful because I couldn't find that anywhere. When we were doing the Ferber method with this girl, I feel like we didn't really know what I was supposed to do in there. I didn't really know how long I should be in there for, or like, and I will say with her, I felt like, and with River actually, with going in and checking on them, I felt like it made it worse. But then, and she talks about this in her little plan, if you like slowly kind of listen and think of the roller coaster, which is an analogy she gives, like the level of screaming on a scale from 1 to 10, essentially. Like, after you go in, you'll notice, even if it takes a couple minutes, that their crying starts to like move down from a 10 down closer to 1. And I totally noticed that. And I don't know if she would, maybe if she didn't mention that, I wouldn't have noticed and just thought, oh my gosh, like going in makes it so much worse, because when you shut the door, they like lose it. But then for River, like a couple of minutes would go by and he'd slowly start to calm down. And so the going in and checking on him and like consoling him was totally working. And I'm just so curious, like would it have been like that with Scarlett if I really paid attention? Kind of feel like no, just because of her personality. And it's not like that for every baby. Some babies it actually is worse. But I will say for Riv, we thought it was, and it actually ended up not being worse. It was very helpful. So she just gives little tips like that that are just awesome and so helpful. I think I've said helpful like 1,000 times in this video, but it's true. So in it, she includes a night weaning process, like the steps of how to do that. And she recommends that you do that with your baby starting day 1, and it's like a 5-day process. So we did that and it was awesome, and he wasn't as hungry as I might have thought he was, because he was fine without it. And then she also offers within that like 230 plan, this all comes with it, is that night weaning and then nap training as well, which has been very helpful. And she does night sleep training before day sleep training, which is different than some, and actually different than the other sleep training that we tried. She was actually the opposite. So, yeah, it's been very helpful. I would totally recommend following her. You okay, babe? Okay. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to tell you. River did super well. So we did the night weaning, and you just time the feedings, and every night they get a little bit shorter, and then you cut one of them out. And the nice thing is that she gives you a bunch of different like schedule options that you can, obviously it's not going to be identical for every baby, but you can kind of pick the one that suits you best and go with that. So I really appreciated that. I don't know, guys, it's just awesome. And she's so real, and she just like gets it. She is a neonatal nurse, a baby nurse of some kind, and her husband's a pediatrician. So they know, they're knowledgeable. Her whole thing is based on like scientific facts and evidence, which is all right up my alley. And I would just highly recommend just giving them not even a follow, just check them out. And even if you don't want to buy anything, her blog is very helpful. She gives daylight savings tips and travel tips. So at least check out her blog, because it's very, very awesome. I think that's kind of all I wanted to talk about with his sleep training. We have a 9-month-old who's now sleeping 11 hours. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Cara. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Cara. So yeah, that's kind of a little rundown. I've literally recommended her programs. She has a newborn one, the 3 to 4 month sleep regression one, and then the 5 to 24 month. I've recommended it to like everybody I know who has kids, and a few people have taken it because I told them like, you have to take this, and they've really enjoyed it too. I can't speak to the newborn or the 3 to 4 because we didn't take that one specifically, but my friends who took the newborn one said it was very helpful. I love the 5 to 24 month one. Yeah. Oh, and the newborn one, I think is like around 75, and the 3 to 4 month one is like 40 or something like that. Like, this is the most expensive one because it just covers like widest span of time. So yeah, guys, go check her out. Again, her Instagram handle is below. Check it out. Check out her blog. Again, so extremely helpful. There it is again, helpful. I hope this video was helpful. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. Sweetie, do you want to say goodbye? No? Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck and goodbye.